Hey, welcome everyone to another episode of our AI Marathon. If you're part of this community right now in the season of AI, a lot of cool things are happening. And thank you for joining another episode here. I have Rahul and Cody. Rahul and I met years ago as part of the School of Genius Billie Jean community, and he was a veteran back then in the world of marketing, and I learned a lot from him in my early days of my launch. And Cody, I met him recently as well through Rahul. And here's what I'll tell you. These guys know what they're talking about. They have an amazing program called GSD. If you haven't seen it or heard of it, check it out. But today what we want to do is talk about sales around AI and how you can leverage AI to move the needle. That's what I'm excited about. Rahul, if you don't mind leading us here and just give us some background of your journey and Cody and how y'all work together, and let's get right into this episode of AI Marathon. Those of you that are watching, tell us where you're from. We're seeing the comments. Tell us what city. Tell us just simply if you're excited about AI altogether. But Rahul, go ahead.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, tell us where you're from, what you do, and when you started your business. That would be pretty cool to know. But yeah, I won't bore you guys too long because it's been a long journey. But I started my business in 2004. I called it Custom Creatives, and it still is the agency to this day. Underneath that, as I fast forward to today, my partner Cody, we partnered about 6 years ago. We collaborated building a real estate marketing company together, along with an agency mastermind called the GSD. And recently, when I say recently, it's over the last couple of years or so, we've just been so infatuated with AI, playing with it, just kind of using all the cool tools that are out there just to our advantage. And nowadays, with AI, when you're using it and how we're leveraging it in our businesses with our sales and just our processes, it's almost like we're waking up and we're already starting our day at like 50 miles an hour, which is pretty cool to do.
Yeah, so Cody, so 6 years and you still like this guy, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't have so much gray in the beard back then before I had, but I had to look the part. But yeah, it's been good fun.
Awesome. So help us understand the difference. Like Cody, are you the salesperson, operations person? What's the difference in y'all's role typically in your company? Just
Yeah,
so we
so
have
originally when
context.
we met, it was mostly I do marketing and operations, and Rahul likes to just sell the thing and then I don't know, retire off to the sunsets. So
Love
over,
it.
over the years, we've kind of, we do a lot of it, but having a business partner it is a hard thing. So I always tell people when they're looking for business partners, they think it's going to save them. You got to find a person you can talk to. Like I talk to Rahul more than I talk to my wife. So you gotta be willing to actually have communication and do stuff, right? You got to be able to having offsetting strengths, and it really works out that way.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this, man. We hear nothing but great things about y'all's business. Rahul, I've known you for a long time, and can't say ever anything bad about you, man. So let's talk right into the AI component. I know, Cody, you prepped some slides to kind of help us keep the conversation kind of uh, structured. So yeah, feel free to share your screen and kind of take us through what you guys have planned.
So, I mean, before I do that, what I do want to get people out there in the chat just to do is drop a one in the chat if you understand the power of AI, but it's a little overwhelming, right? It's just seems like it's something that could really change your life, but you just don't know where to start, or you've tried poking around the things and you just don't get it. And I want you guys to look at all the people that are going to be dropping ones in the chat right now and just realize that you're not alone, right? A big part of what HighLevel does that is just so good is this kind of community, and realizing that a lot of people are in the exact same situation that you are in. And all it takes is reaching out, being a part of stuff like this, communicating with each other, networking with each other, and frankly, getting shit done, right? Together. We like to say in the GSD, what we do is when people need to help each other, we call it wolf packs, right? The lone wolf dies, but the pack always survives. So just finding each other and helping each other on those journeys is going to be a really big thing. So let's dive into this a little bit. What I want to specifically talk about with me and Rahul here today is specifically about leveraging AI sales teams to be able to scale your agency, and how that kind of stuff is really changing the dynamic. Like Paulson and Rahul said, we've been doing this AI stuff for a long time. You can go back and see challenges we were doing on AI a few months after ChatGPT launched, because it really did changed the way everything worked. It changed how we were able to sell to businesses. It changed how we were able to operate. It changed how much money and overhead it takes to run these kind of agencies. It really did shift everything at the time, and we've been kind of head deep into it for a while. But specifically today, I want to keep it around the AI sales team. But there is a puzzle here, right? To building a 7-figure agency, to building $100,000 agency, to having the life that you want. And it comes down to traffic, sales, and systems. And AI specifically can help not only your clients, but your business fill a lot of these gaps. Having it anywhere from sales, where you're having appointment setters, where you're having outreach, database reactivation, having it built into your offers so that you can sell and solve bigger problems and make more money, and systems go without saying, right? Having these different pieces all be able to be filled by AI now is a crazy thing. It's an opportunity you would not have had 2 years ago. I think it's absolutely crazy how much the world has shifted in what is it, like a year and a half, 2 years now since ChatGPT? How long has it been since ChatGPT launched? Is it two?
I think it was November 2021 or two. I forgot now.
I think
when it became public to everybody.
Yeah. So it's just absolutely crazy. Specifically on these slides, I want to talk to you guys about what an AI sales team is, how you can leverage them to fill your calendars, and why small businesses are begging you to sell them one. The secret offer and prospecting system our partner has been using to close, I think last month alone, 10 high ticket AI SaaS builds specifically. And I do want to talk a little bit about what that means, what a custom build is, and why AI is something that you really can leverage to get out of low ticket selling and into higher ticket SaaS, or as we call it, SWAS. Like, I got a hashtag Rob Bailey when I say stuff like that, but give that SWAS out there, put some service in it to be able to charge a little bit more money. And our middleman method that we're currently leveraging right now to book $25 sales calls on Facebook ads. And we just kind of put on our 2016 hat and pretended it was, 10 years ago, because those are the kind of numbers we're able to get. It's pretty cool, guys, the way that you can leverage it not only for yourself, but for your clients. So
yeah, one thing I'll just add here, if you go back to those slides, as this community evolves, you'll find out different terminology. So Cody just said SWAS, right? You'll hear a couple of different terminologies, and you'll see different ticket points. Like, there are folks that sell the high volume, low ticket, $297 a month SaaS. Then you'll see people sell it for $2,000, and you'll see people sell it for $5,000, $10,000, more of like an enterprise custom kind of a deal. Like, just be mindful that every business model has a play, because otherwise somebody wouldn't be doing it, right? And so my goal personally, and our team's goal, is to make sure all different sides of it is presented. So as you go through this, don't feel restricted that this is the only way to do this, or, vice versa. Just be open-minded, especially those that may feel differently about SWAS, and some people love SWAS and all these different things. I just want you to be mindful that our goal is to present the different activities that are happening in the community. Keep going.
For sure. So what is an AI sales team specifically, guys, right? And why are businesses falling over themselves to get one? I want to stop here for a second, and you guys can put it in the chat. Tell me what you think an AI sales team is. And there's going to be a whole bunch of it, so we're just going to let it sit there for a minute. You tell me, what do you think an AI sales team is? And what AI, these are the new terms we got to remember. Getchell's rolling this out. AI employees. What AI employees do you guys think make up what an AI sales team actually is, right? This is super important. Okay. So to me, what it is a team of 24/7 AI employees, again, that enhance a potential client's business without costing them salary, without costing them training time, without getting commissions. Now, a lot of you guys, I know everybody's all over the place with where you're at in your agency journey, but I've been doing this for about 12 years. Rahul's been doing it for, I always say 20. I think it might be more than 20 now. I don't know. We'll call it around 20. He's about 80 years old, right, Rahul? You're still kicking.
I went to high school with David Ogilvy.
And all along that journey, guys, I cannot tell you how much of a pain it's been, not just for us, but also for our clients, specifically salespeople, having to constantly find salespeople that are A players, having to constantly retrain them. And then once they're really good, some of them go on to do other stuff, because that's just life, right? And business is the same thing. I mean, drop a one in the chat if you've ever had a client as a marketing agency and your whole thing was pulling out your hair because you're getting them leads and they just cannot close them. And all you do is scream from the top of the mountain. When we were heavy into real estate, I cannot tell you how many conversations I had where I had the words speed to lead basically burned into my forehead because I repeated it somewhere so much, right? That kind of stuff was before this the biggest crux of a marketing agency, the biggest difference between having stuff that would actually convert, be qualified, all of that stuff, and actually being able to show the ROI. It came down to, I can only get it so far. What can you do next? In fact, for us, for real estate specifically, we had a team of a couple dozen what you call ISAs before you could use this. It was something that we taught heavily too. And what an ISA is an internal sales agent. Basically, you hire people down in South America who have call center experience, and their job is to do what AI can do now: call the leads, qualify them, and then book them directly into the calendar. We had to have a whole team of people who would hire and train them. We had to have a whole team of people that were managing them. And then we had to constantly be sourcing them and pushing them through and doing all that. Now, you don't have to do that with salary. You don't have to do that with training time. You don't have to pay those people commissions. These are just AI employees filling positions that small businesses or you know that you need, but you don't know how to train, simply can't find, and don't have, a lot of these people are also using things like receptionists as salespeople. Think of your dentists, think of your chiropractors, all the places you go where they don't have a sales team. They have an employee who works 8 to 4, who's a receptionist, and his only job is to actually take orders, book appointments, that kind of stuff. This helps them replace that. It helps them create a better solution and finally have a sales oriented way, right? A normal salesperson for your business is going to cost you $1,000 to $5,000 a month plus commissions on every successful sale you have. Okay, that's what a normal salesperson costs.
Let me pause right there. So this normal pricing, this is the remote salesperson in this selling economy right now. Now, a lot of salespeople could be making 3 to 5 thousand base, plus the commissions, plus the benefits, plus the training costs that Cody covered on the last slide. But what we're not doing is uncovering how long the companies are going to keep those sales reps because they just are comfortable and lose even more opportunities. What happens when the sales rep does not follow up on time or call back the leads or log the notes, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of leakage out there. And in fact, I was just getting gas and the phone was ringing. And the lady, I don't know who she is, but I've been to that gas station many times. She's like, I just hate it when this phone rings because I don't like answering. Right. So that could have been, they have a mechanic shop right that's attached to it. That could have been somebody that blew out a carburetor. That could have been a multi-thousand-dollar job that she just missed. Right. So there's a lot of leak there. And some people are forced into these situations of using the phones, and it's not even their role. It's not even their job to do it. They weren't trained on it. And that's why I'm super excited about this stuff, which Cody's going to get into as we go through these slides.
The other layer of this sales component that often agency owners and marketers and online entrepreneurs don't pay attention to is like the real closers of the world of sales. They don't care to go sell a 5,000 a month dollar package. Those guys are wanting to sell millions of dollars of worth of stuff. So really, really good salespeople, closers, they're not entertained by online businesses. They want to be selling packages that are 100,000 or higher. So then all of a sudden, the pool of sales talent that you have as a online entrepreneur are folks that are starting out in sales or they don't have experience selling uh, mid-ticket items, right? Even 100,000 a year is a mid-ticket item in the grand scheme of things. So like, just be mindful that the talent pool is already limited before you even figure out a salesperson in the world of online entrepreneurship.
100%.
I can't tell you how much I started to not enjoy training that many setters at once. The one person gets it this week, the next week forgets it, then we have to retrain, then the domino effect happens with all of them. And putting in countless amounts of hours from my side and their side, of course, too. While the one thing I don't like doing is I don't like training you and paying you at the same time. So it's almost like I'm your free mentor. Now, in certain circumstances, I could train you and if you're an intern, but if I'm paying you, and you're filling a role of sales and you don't know how to do it very effectively, it's a double-edged sword as a business owner. I have something like widely wrong with that. Like, why should I train a sales the role that you want to apply for? So I get that we nurture and grow, but that's where AI comes in. And we're not using it to replace me on the phone and replace necessarily Cody to do his sales process. We're making our lives easier by creating these AI employee voice assistants that can follow up with our leads. It can reactivate all of our dead database and bring us new revenue. It can invite us, our clients, to the webinar. It can do appointment reminders so our no-show rate goes way down. And Cody started on slide one, and I don't want to spoil your story, but our ads were costing us like in and around $300 to get somebody to book on our calendar with a Zoom. With our AI voice employee, we've dropped that price down significantly to $25 per lead on our call, on our calendars, on our Zooms. So that's a $275 saving per lead. So think about what we can do with our budget. If, for example, if we have $10,000 we want to spend, and now we're getting that much more volume out of the same budget, we now have like these are prices that you could have probably gotten 2010 on Facebook ads that we've roll back the clock, just leveraging HighLevel and AI together.
By having the thing that you're constantly preaching to people, speed to lead, actually calling in and following up with people, all the stuff that you have to try and drill into the head of a salesperson, you can kind of just program into these AI employees, which makes it amazing, which makes it do the stuff that we really wanted to do. And a big part of what you guys are saying right there is this slide right here, which is, I think a lot of people don't realize, they think of this cost as the cost of the people. They don't realize the cost of the constantly trying to source, hire, fire, train, the managerial aspect of it, your own time that goes into it. There's a lot of time that goes into these sales expenses for yourself, but also for the businesses you're trying to help. Like a lot of companies, we have a lot of students in our programs that work now with home services, and those people hate sales teams. And so they'll just miss calls. They'll just not even have it. They're like, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. They know they need it. Like if you talk to them, they understand they need the salesperson, but it's this slide right here that makes them completely terrified of having to go through the process. They just don't think they have time. They don't want to waste that money on it. Right. And AI sales teams, they never take a day off. They never ask for a cent in commission. They never have to be replaced or retrained. Every single improvement. And I can't remember who it was that said this the other day, but it was like, this is the worst this is ever going to be. So if you like your AI sales employee right now, that is the worst that person is ever going to be. It's like getting a B plus player and knowing that you're never going to have to find another one. They're just going to go from B to B plus to A. And every time they go up, you get that now forever. And you get a team of them who can answer and dial as much as you absolutely need them to. So it's absolutely fantastic. To me, it's that stuff that makes it good. And it's, in case everybody hasn't realized this yet, this is not a fad. Okay. A lot of people, when AI first came out, they were like, this is Clubhouse. ChatGPT is the next Clubhouse. We're not going to do this stuff. Anybody remember that? Drop a 1 in the chat, guys, or a 2 if the one button's broken from us smashing it so much.
I think I went on Clubhouse maybe once or twice, and then Robin happened to be on one of them, and it was like just me and him in our own room because we didn't know we didn't really have much friends on Clubhouse.
Yeah, I bought into the fad. I had a Clubhouse account. I think I sold an invite. Remember that stuff for a couple of months. So yeah, but AI, guys, is not. It's here to stay. It's not just here to stay, but it's actually changing people's businesses. And if you're not taking advantage of it, if it's something you just think you can put off learning, you're going to get left behind. There's a reason that HighLevel is pushing it so hard now. There's a reason that everybody is talking about it. It's because once you understand how to use it, it can reduce your overhead, improve your margins, and allow you to sell a better product to your clients. This is the kind of stuff that we used to have to do, things like we just said, by hiring basically full-on call centers down in South America to be able to pull the ROI out of some of these marketing campaigns. Now you don't have to do that. You get to build a premium product that's going to stay, right? The biggest piece of all of this is now you have an opportunity to do just that, solve bigger problems for your clients. When you solve bigger problems with your clients, you get to move away from low ticket and into what we think is a much more profitable high ticket SaaS with a recurring thing on the back end. It's going away from being able to sell the $97 and into something that you can sell for as high as $5,000, $10,000 with $1,000 a month on the back end. Right. And I know there's lots of people, like Paulson said, every model is good. You can all have whatever model you want, but we have found that this results in less headaches for people when they're doing it. And it allows us to kind of make that happen. So I want to take this and make a little bit of a bigger, scarier offer. Okay. So what that means now, solving a bigger problem lets you shift from this into something else. I won't read these words out loud. Our partners are leveraging AI employees right now. And what we have is we have a partner program as a part of our stuff where we actually have a go high level development team and all this stuff where we can help people actually sell high ticket builds. And I'm only saying that because these types of custom builds, which really aren't that complicated for you, is stuff that really allows you to get into selling things for $5,000, $10,000, $1,000 a month after that to keep it going. The biggest thing, and I'm going to let Rahul talk on this a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about this at the end, though, too, is when you're looking to get into these types of higher ticket things, when you're getting into these systems, it really is, especially with AI, about showing them the magic. It's about giving them a demo. It's about consulting and not selling. Drop a 1 in the chat if the first time that, I can't remember if it was you, Paulson, or if it was Sean coming at you video. I can't remember which one it was, but somebody dropped that little type of clip right there with the AI voice employee that came out like a month ago, and everybody lost their mind. So drop a 1 in the chat if you watched that and you were like, holy shit, everything is changing. I know a lot of people that did. And that feeling you got when you watched that, and all of the things that you could do with it, and all of the ways that your business was going to change by having that, that's what I mean right here when I say show them the magic. You're not presenting them some long demo and showing the 50 million features that HighLevel can do and having to educate them on every aspect to get that sale across. You're focusing in on something that allows them to be like, holy shit, I didn't know that was possible. I can't wait to see what this can do, and let their own mind fill in the blanks. Because if you do that and then you consult with them a little bit, meaning asking them questions, look at their customer journey, figure out where it is that you can put this in, and have them ask you specific questions. Can I connect this to my own system? Can I customize what the AI actually says? Can you, right? Rahul's favorite thing he taught me when we first started being business partners is stop saying yes and start saying, we could probably do that. Can I make a recommendation? And being a consultant on that so that you can now leverage that to a bigger conversation. Now, Rahul, I want to talk more about the selling point at the end, but is there anything you want to kind of touch on the consulting, not selling aspect of the custom build before we?
No, I just can't express how important the demonstration is, because it's the show me state. We gotta show them, open the kimono, give them the playbook. It does not matter. And I like to do it repeatably, so it's on demand, on command at any time of the day. I built probably one of the first HighLevel websites when it first launched out of the gates, and created a workflow demo of how the core 4 works. Just using something very, very simple. Haven't updated it probably in, I don't know what year it was, but maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Same demo, same everything, same domain, same workflow, nothing changed. And all I have to do is I bookmark the link, say, check this out. Let me know if this could help your business. And then we start the conversation. So I don't go into product pushing. I don't try to go into door knocking and force something down their throat. Very consultative. Hey, you own a business. I do a little bit of optimization on businesses where I find some leaked revenues. Let's check this out. Let me know if this could help you. And then send them the link, and they're like, oh shit, I just got a bunch of emails, text messages, and voicemail drops right in a short period of time. I'm like, yeah, we can really automate this entire business. Now think about, like, if you have clients, if you're a restaurant owner, like let's say today's a Monday, for example, and it's quiet. What if we were able to do a reactivation, use some AI for interactive conversation? Now you can fill the house on a Monday night football or basketball or baseball or whatever sport or whatever event you want to use as the prop to promote your own location, and take a $1,000 day into a $5,000 day, and then do it consistently. Do you think in the chat that would change someone's life? That can change doing the same amount of work as the business owner, just making 4 to 5 times more money doing that same thing. Would that be helpful to any business? And that's why it's important to have a demonstration. And it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done.
just has to be good enough to get their eyes wider and to get them looking at the magic, right, guys? Like that's really what it ends up being. So, okay, let's take that and build what we call a scary offer. In the GSD for the last however many years, our entire existence, we teach one thing that we have to do because everything you do revolves around having an offer that actually works, right? So we call it the scary offer because we want it to scare you to make it so that it's better than your competition. So the formula, big end result, plus customer language, plus specificity, plus risk reversal, plus reverse pain statement. And before anybody yells at me about Alex Hormozi, we've been teaching this before that came out, so don't at me, okay? Now we want to have as many of these elements in it.
Yeah. Sorry, I was gonna say they didn't teach you this in college. Like this is like just on this slide is a degree at a university if you went to undergrad. This is all you need to know if you have a business is nail your offer right, and you'll be in a really, really good position.
Yeah, because 90% of the success of anything that you do comes from this offer. Most people, especially you guys, and I love you guys. I love everybody in the high level community, but I think we can all be a little bit self-reflective right now that you are all chasing the shiny object a lot. And I can't blame Sean for all of it, but just a tiny bit. You chase the features, you chase the stuff, and that's fine. But you do fall into the trap of thinking that every new thing that comes out is going to be the thing that saves your business. And you build a lot of time on funnels. You spend a lot of time on videos. In fact, drop a 2 in the chat, guys, if this sounds like you. You have a business idea, you write out the perfect long form copy, you go spend all your time on a funnel, you go shoot a beautiful, beautiful demo video that you think is absolutely amazing. You're making a lot of assumptions along the way. And then you get there 3 weeks later or so, you launch it, crickets. Nobody came along, right? And that's because you're reversing the time spent that you should be doing. 90% of your success is going to come from an offer. All the rest of that stuff is supposed to be something that moves the needle on something that's already working. If I have an offer that people want, then shooting a beautiful video and having a nice landing page is going to make a little bit more of a conversion rate on something that already works. But a beautiful landing page and a wonderful video with an offer that nobody wants is going to get you nowhere, and it's a waste of time. A lot of what we teach in the GSD is frictionless, fast, imperfect action on an offer until you find right person, right offer, organic, paid, whatever that might be, and then invest your time, invest your resources. You get 2 of those in life: money, time, to make that stuff better at that point. So you got to spend time on the offer. Now, is this sharing my whole screen or not? Like, are you seeing?
No. Oh, now I am. Yeah. We got the document, Word document.
Do you mind zooming to 144? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. That look better? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cute.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. So we did this out a little while ago as an exercise with one of our students. So I just kind of left it filled in, but big end result, customer language, specificity. So what do we mean by this? Well, first we got to pick a niche because we can't talk to our customers unless we know who it is that we're actually talking to. So I picked home service companies because that is, for some reason, a common niche that's been coming up a lot. And I have a feeling it's 2 reasons. One, because it's kind of an umbrella niche. Because really roofers, contractors, all those types of folks, they fit into it. And it is a good niche to start in because you can eventually sub-niche down into it if you want, or service all those types of companies. Another reason is HighLevel is very well suited to helping these types of companies. I noted earlier that they don't like salespeople. They're on the job a lot. What does that mean? They have a database full of people that aren't getting nurtured. They probably miss a lot of phone calls, right? DBRs, missed call text back, AI employees. There's a lot of specific features that you guys can use for this amazing system to get out there and kick ass for these types of companies. And so what do they want, right? Customer language means, a lot of people will start a marketing agency and they'll put on their banner, I do Facebook ads and Google ads and PPC and SEO, and I help businesses grow and get leads. How many of those terms do you think these people even understand? 3 letters that they don't even know what the hell they're supposed to be attached to, right? And that's something that is very, very common. So the difference between me saying I do Facebook ads for small businesses and help them grow their companies, or a person that says I help contractors get a dozen high value estimate requests every 30 days, which one of those 2 things are you going to have? One of them is vague. The other one has specificity, customer language, and a big end result, right? A lot of that stuff boils down to it. So customer language for home service companies, usually estimates, quotes, jobs, projects, contracts, this kind of stuff. This is what they actually want. And you can start with these baselines of things, but what you should be doing is onboarding surveys, offboarding surveys, learning in their language. What is the thing that they want? What is the pain points that they have? How are they describing it to you? One of the best sources of this information, guys, too, that people just tend to throw away is sales calls that they told you no. One of my favorite places to get marketing information and stuff like this so that I can learn how to market to people is when I got told no on a sales call. Because if you start hearing the same thing over and over again, that language helps you move the needle. That allows you to get in there. And I can't express how good that is. Pain points here for these guys: on the job a lot, don't have time to answer the phone. On the job a lot, don't have time to train salespeople, don't want to learn new tech. This one's important, right? So for these kind of people, you're usually talking to blue collar guys. They don't want to learn the tech. They want the outcome, but they want it to be explained to them in a super simple way. So that means, and let me look into the camera for a sec, all you guys with your 45-page demo decks explaining every single feature that HighLevel's ever had, throw that away. It's not helping. It's not going to get you the sales for these guys. They want to know, what are you going to do, and what is the one or two features that you're just going to plug and play into my thing and make it work. They can be the most loyal customers you've ever had once you show them that it works. They're just going to take a little bit of conversation in the beginning to make that happen.
Real quick, go to those on the pain points. Pain point one, they don't have time to always answer the phones. I can tell you right now, the roofer that got the job, there's construction going on now near me or in my house. But the roofer that got the job, the first one missed the call. The one that answered the phone got the job. So pain point one, AI can do it. Pain point two, AI can do it. Pain point three, AI can do it. Next pain point, AI will do it, right? So that's the beauty of all of this stuff, is that you guys, us in this group and community, and do what we do. This is the late 90s, early 2000s all over again, if you're old enough to understand the dot-com boom. This is that, but bigger. Like, I was too young and too stupid to know what was going on at that era. Now I'm not. So now I'm jumping in full throttle, gonna put all the pain, put all the effort in, put all the energy in. This is the retirement era for me personally, and it could be for some of you. If you are passionate about this and you're exploring AI, you're failing a lot with AI to succeed in AI, and you're getting the help that you need from this community and the groups and these masterminds and whatnot. So that's how I want to emphasize that really, really strongly, how of an opportunity we're literally on. And AI has been around since the 80s. We may have called it business intelligence or machine learning, but the DoD, Department of Defense, is built off of algorithms and AI. Now it's released to us. So we have the most sophisticated stuff today. A lot of it is economical, very, very inexpensive in the grand scheme of running a business. But man, I can't tell you, I'm like, my feet are tapping the ground right now. I'm so excited about this shit. How much revenue, wealth is going to be created for us personally and the people that we serve, and all of you guys that jump on this. Because like Cody mentioned and Paulson talked about, it's not a fad, it's not a trend. This is a cultural shift that we're moving towards.
Yeah, just to add a few notes here, sometimes we forget just 3 years ago, most agencies were zapping stuff to an Excel sheet. That's where we were as a marketing, agency world. And to Rahul's point, I really do believe what Rahul's saying is accurate, because I do think this is the next technology gold rush. A couple of other big, players in our community recently talked about it, even in some of the other AI marathon episodes, in general. Like, this is the next gold rush, and it's something that you know, a high level doesn't make any extra money just because you're selling AI.
Mm-hmm.
We truly believe in this business model. That's why we're sharing this and encouraging it, because guess what? In the world of economics, there is something called the first to market arrival advantage. Like, if you're the first person or one of the first group of people that are selling a thing in an open market, you typically have an advantage that you don't have a lot of competition, you don't have a lot of you're not fighting against the standard even, right? You're the one setting the standard, right? That has its own advantage. So I would encourage people to pay attention to this. And, these are some of my personal opinions on it. Not, I don't want to speak for all of High Level and what we represent, but I do think this is a second gold rush in the world since the dot-com boom, honestly.
I
Yeah,
think it's
real quick. What color is the back of my wall? Can you guys tell me?
It's
blue.
blue for me.
Yeah, right. So it's a blue ocean right now. AI is completely blue. And as it starts to get a little bit more competitive, if you start getting and adapting now, you'll make it bluer, and behind you will be the red because everybody's going to go after, they're going to get in the game too late, start too basic while you're getting more and more advanced. Kind of like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady. They all got better with time, and they got improved their skills with time. Same thing here. The sooner we adapt, the sooner and the more hours, the more time, the more education we put into AI, and the more leverage we can find in pain points of ordinary businesses that could be thriving, that are still like hurting from the pandemic many years later. This is the arrival of their success again, their energy again, their confidence again. Heck, divorce rates will probably go down if they make more money for their businesses because everybody will be smiling a hell of a lot more. Because I mean, not to sound too salesy, but I mean, I'd rather work hard and be rich than work hard and be broke. That's for sure. Because everything's going to be
Let-
hard.
Let's keep going. There's so much more to
Yeah.
cover.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. So last thing I do want to say on that though is, a big thing we're talking about for selling this, guys, is showing people the magic. Right now,
Yep.
we're in the period of time where any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. That's because we're so early on the adoption curve. If you show these people these systems right now, they will not believe what it is capable and they will want to buy it. That's not going to last forever. So we do got to get on it and start taking advantage of that. So a couple of things down here, right? Number one, right? We're going to address the pain points, use the customer language. So what are we able to do? Well, we are able to save home service companies hundreds of thousands of dollars in unneeded sales overhead. We're able to double their high value estimates in 90 days. How do we do that? Right. A couple of things with scary offers, guys. One, when you make an offer to everybody, it does not mean that the homeless person that wanders in off the street can just tell you that that's your guarantee and you now need to go make them all that money. That's not how this works. These are meant to have them qualify for you just as much as the other way around. So in this situation, how are you able to save them $100,000 in sales overhead? Well, a sales rep is 60K plus commission. We just talked about that. So if you could suggest that you could help them save one sales rep that they probably don't even have, but know they need, there's 60K plus commission. An assistant on the low end. So say we have a receptionist or something in an actual brick and mortar company, you're talking about a $50,000 a year type person. So if you can suggest that you could help them replace those two things at minimum, and you can help them replace a lot more than that, it's easy to validate $100,000 right there. And how do you double their inbound estimates? Well, honestly, for a lot of these people in home services, just by picking up the damn phone, guys, will help them double their business. You have no idea how much they're missing. But ads, database reactivation, outbound using the middleman method, missed call text back. I don't even know what to call missed call text back anymore because it's not missed call text back. It's just
Yeah,
never
well,
missed.
yeah, it's
It's just,
voice AI is basically Miss Call Text Spike 2.0 essentially, right? And you don't have to deal with A2P.
just don't miss calls in wink face. There we go. That's what we'll call it, right? There's also never training a sales rep again, right? There's also, we could write another variation where it's missed call text back 2.0, where you can say stuff like, I help home service companies recover a minimum of $20,000 in lost revenue every 30 days without hiring a single salesperson or spending a dime on ads, because it comes down to a simple conversation at that point, right? Hey, Mr. Home Service Company, or hey, Mr. Contractor, how many calls on average are you missing per day? And most of the ones I talk to, they way overstate it. So we'll just bring it down to like 5. Let's say 5. I've had some tell me they're missing dozens and dozens a day. I'm like, there's no way that you're just sitting there with a smile on your face and telling me that because you know how much money you're missing. But okay, so let's say 5 per day. If you picked them up, how many would close? The other thing that they wildly overestimate is how many they would close, because they're all inbound calls usually. So they'll usually say, I don't know, 1 in every 3. So let's up this to 6 to make my math a little easier for you guys. Cool. What's an average job then? Well, if you're talking to a roofer, I just paid my roofer 20 grand. Another good story about roofers, I have a few buildings that I own, and I have a roofer that I literally used for one of them. I emailed him in one other place. And you know what happened? The place that I have literally used before didn't respond, didn't pick up the phone, didn't call me back, didn't email me back. And the new place instantly must have had Go High Level. Shout out to Go High Level, saving businesses' lives out here. Actually texted me back right away and got a $20,000 job done. Literally, one company lost my business that they already had, and another one got to make 20 grand because they just picked up the phone. So we'll say this, cool. So by your own admission or math, let's say, you're losing, let's put it on the low end. So $5,000, 33% to a day, $10,000 a day by not answering the phone. That's how easy you can get them to get to that math on their own, right? And so having offers like this that you can validate, that you can talk through, allows you to start so many conversations you never would have been able to have. And all of this is AI sales team, AI sales team, AI sales team. And you're able to take that and put that to work. Does that make sense, guys? Drop a 1 in the chat if this is clear. Drop a 2 in the chat if I sound absolutely ridiculous and you never want to hear from me again. That's okay too. We take criticism here. That's fine.
I hope y'all are loving this AI marathon. We're going really into practical applications, and Cody and Rahul, they have their own coaching programs. If you ever want to get into depth of things, of course they're going to support you there. Check out what they do. But hopefully here you're getting a lot of nuggets that you can apply in the AI marathon here. So yeah, let's keep going.
Cool. So we have an offer. Let's find some customers. The number one way that's interesting that I'm not seeing a lot of people use right now, that our partners are using, leveraging right now, I'm dropping a little secret sauce, is this. Because you know what? Go High Level's grown a lot over the last bunch of years. And what that ends up meaning is that there's businesses now out there looking for people to help them build High Level, to help them build AI, to help them create these custom build type scenarios. So if you go out to some of these places and you create on Fiverr, Upwork, some of these things, profiles that are SEO optimized to these specific terms, you will get inbound requests from companies all the time that are looking for this. You can basically put whatever you want here at the hourly rate, all of this stuff. It's nonsense. Just don't make yourself look too cheap. It really is just to exist so that people are actively looking out and reaching out to you for help, and so that you can submit requests to the freelancer sites for jobs that are posted. Literally, this landed one of our partner program people, 10 high ticket builds last month. They ranged anywhere from $2,000 all the way to $20,000 for the build. And all it was high level AI, and one or two of them had some custom API to let it talk to their own shit. That's it. A lot of people overcomplicate this stuff, and either you can figure out how to do that stuff yourself, or you can come reach out to people like us who can help you build it on the back end. But this allows you to kind of get that going. And when you build a customized solution, a lot of people come and they say, well, what if everybody knows it's high level? I say, well, what if they know your website is built on WordPress? Like, what does it matter? You're building them a system, a marketing system, and especially in this situation, a custom marketing system that you've helped them really create. They're not going to leave you. They're not going to be one of those clients that comes up and, okay, I just spent 5-10 grand to make this perfect custom thing, and now I'm going to go pay this Tom, Dick, and Harry guy down the road with his shitty WordPress website, right? Like, that's the point. You now have a client that's locked in. You have something that's built. You have a glove that fits the hand. And this is a way that I don't see a lot of people doing that's working quite well for our partners. So a little bit of secret sauce on how to find some of these custom build, Go High Level AI type clients, having it built like this. Now I'm going to go off this. I'm going to give everybody here 5 seconds to screenshot this, because that's as much as I'm going to give you away. So if you want to look at this profile, set up, and have a little bit of SEO on that, do it now. You got 5, 4. Rahul's about to give a speech.
Yeah. Well, while we count down, I'll give you 4 resources. You can upload that: People Per Hour, Guru.com, Upwork, Fiverr.
Yeah.
Can someone that's watching just comment that down if you don't mind? Rahul, can you say that one more time?
Yeah, People Per Hour. I've hired people from there, so there are buyers on there. I've hired from all of these sites too myself. And I'm not talking about low ticket. I'm talking about, it started off low ticket, then it evolved into high ticket based on the caliber of the person I hired. People Per Hour, Guru.com, Upwork, and Fiverr.
All right. I see a couple of people in there dropping it in the notes. That's good. Cool. Now, so you know where to go find custom builds, and we know why businesses want AI sales teams, hopefully, anyway. If you don't, then I've done a horrible job for the last hour. But hopefully, you get the idea of why these are super valuable, right? Now, how do we leverage those same things for ourselves? How do I go find people? How do I go actually fill my own calendar using my own AI sales team? Because it's cool to go sell it to them, but I kind of want some money myself. Is that what everybody's here for? We want to make some money. Drop a one in the chat if we're happy about money. I don't know. So I want to talk a bit about this. Now, why it's called the middleman method is because we are not doing cold outreach with AI. Okay. We're not doing cold texting with AI. We are not doing eventually in a couple of months or however long it takes for the outreach to come out. I'm telling you preemptively right now, do not go out and cold call people with AI. You're going to get yourself and probably the rest of us in trouble. So just don't do it. We want to just hard stop on that right away. So what that means is we need to have a middleman. What that middleman is, it's like the guy that gets you to sign the waiver before you get on the dangerous ride. It's like, okay, you want to come talk to my robot, but you gotta tell me that you want to go talk to my robot before I can. And so the way that we're doing that heavily is just putting something in between us and it. It doesn't take much, right? For us right now, all that means is you got to have an opt-in, you got to have a response, you got to have something where they're asking your company to talk to them, right? We just don't want to be preemptively going and doing it. So we got to have a middleman. What that middleman is for us, right? Again, you can't and shouldn't use it for calling. You shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff. For us right now, Facebook ads is a big one for that, right? Because Facebook ads are opting in. And so for you guys right now, what we've done with not just voice AI, but with also texting AI, we've made some ads specifically for these two things here. And what we've been doing is having AI actually reach out to these people immediately, and it's booking us $25 sales calls. It's able to actually create calls and leads and all of this stuff in a way that absolutely was not possible since I don't know, I've been doing this since 2012. I haven't seen any kind of prices like that since 2016, maybe 2018 at the best for that kind of stuff. And it's all because of having a team that reaches out to these types of things right away. And so we created a few of these things. Now we could give these away. I don't know how, Paulson, but however you want to give these things away.
Yeah, we'll if you we'll make sure it's available to you in our resources drive.
Okay. But only if we get I don't know, 10 hashtag GSDs in the comments, and then Paulson will be the Santa Claus. I guess we're close enough to this. So we made a few of these easy to understand ads, right? Contractors, things here, right? Some home service ads here. I think we even wrote some cold emails for you guys to be able to write out, just to be able to say, using the same type of scary offer we had, replace this, send this out. Now, for right now, how do you plug in the middleman to this? Right. So if you're sending an ad out, somebody clicks on this ad and they say, okay, I do want to replace $100,000 in unneeded sales overhead. I do want to double my high value overhead. Okay, cool. So what you want to have it do is have AI sales, the chat on AI go through GHL and send them a text. Now, all we do is basically it's almost like an in the moment database reactivation. You're being kind of an asshole. You're like, hey, I saw you click on this thing. I just want to know, are you sure you want this thing? There's two ways to go about this text. One, you just say, hey, Rahul, I saw you just opted in for our ad to be able to double your high value estimates in the next 90 days in your contracting business, ... Is that something you are interested in? Any kind of a thing, right? Because what are we trying to do? We're trying to get the AI appointment setter inside HighLevel to see the response, take over the conversation, book the call. Now, with proper prompting, all of that, you can have it ask a couple of qualifying questions and then get them to actually book directly into the calendar that way, right? So you're having it do that. The other type of text is a little bit more sneaky. You can decide if you want to do it or not, but it's just saying the same thing. Hey, saw you just opted in for this amazing offer, ... Wanted to make sure I have the right person here. Is this Rahul? Question mark. I know some of you guys just squinted a little because you've all got that text before, but it works. We all wouldn't still be using it if some of you people didn't keep responding to it and helping us book appointments. So it is another way to have that middleman take over and actually do it. And between having a good offer on this, having that AI texting salesperson actually go out and do it, it allows you to book incredibly cheap calls. Now, eventually, when HighLevel rolls out the outbound calling features as well, you're going to want to do the same thing. You're going to plug it right in. You're going to have it be outbound dialing these people to talk to your leads. And if they don't pick up the phone, you still use the text right after that. You have a whole AI team, so you're able to hit that on both ends. And be able
Do you
to
mind zooming in as you talk through this? Yeah, maybe yeah, perfect, awesome.
Cool. So I'll just hover on this for a second so you guys can see it one more time. Again, all I ask is, what did I say? 10 hashtag GSDs or get shit done. I also like
Yeah.
5 emojis, but if you want the presence, you got to do a little bit of work.
Yeah, so
Tiny.
I mean, if we had this kind of stuff like implemented the way we do now years ago, we wouldn't have lost the thousands of customers we've lost over the years. Because the number one issue we've always been blamed for is because the speed to lead has never been there, especially since we had a big portfolio of working with real estate agents. Coincidentally enough, we're probably going to be heading back that way, but we're going to be working with some larger enterprise level clients. But the point being is we lost so much money by not being able to be more to the customers, which we're not responsible for. Now we have an upsell. We can offer this to solve the world's problems in their minds, to help them recover the revenue, be better at their jobs, have more significance in life and to their family and their legacy and all that. So there's a bigger picture just beyond what AI is and what it can do for you. If we look into the future, we look at people do judge people by how much money they make, how much significance they have, the widgets they have, what they can leave to the next legacy. And that's why that's part of what this is. While it's in the moment right now, you can have the cutting edge technology. The bigger picture is all those things I just mentioned. But again, like using AI to call these leads, text these leads. I mean, I have everything go to my Slack account anytime a lead comes in, and it's already doing it. So if it's 8 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, etc., if somebody opted in, we can control if we want AI to contact them that late with the hours. But if somebody's awake and they want information at 10 p.m. and they're a contractor, that means they're busy and that's their time to work. So we want our AI to contact them because they just contact us first. So now we can have an in the moment speed the lead, book them on a call the very next day. And it also eliminates them from looking at our competition so they can close their Facebook, Instagram, or Google searches or accounts because they're about to get barraged with a shit ton of leads. I'm sorry, competitors of ours right away. Because once you click one ad, you're all of a sudden going to see that's all you're going to see for a couple of days is all that same types of ads.
Yeah.
So by that speed, you eliminate competition inherently because when somebody inquires, they kind of feel good taking that off their checklist that they did something. Then they can move on to the rest of their to-do list.
Yeah, the other thing to consider here is we're talking about real estate, home services, but there are multiple industries with different sales processes. Like Rahul, my old agency was in dental. The dentists,
Mhm.
they function differently than the realtors, right? They have after hours, they're on call, taking on emergency cases and stuff like that. So even if it's just like an on-call system after hours that you're fielding for them so they don't have to pick up the phone while they're out on dinner, like even if it's that kind of a solution, you can build something. So just be mindful, every industry has a different sales process scenario. It's up to you to learn and decide whether you want to solve for that.
So, in the sense that this is supposed to be AI employees, I'm not going to harp on this or show this for very long, but when you do get this gift, there's a nice little prompt right here that actually will help you now have an AI media buyer who's writing all of your ads for you in a simple kind of way. But I'm just going to
Really?
scroll
Mhm.
real quick. It's gone now. But if you want
Our,
more,
our advanced senior copywriter costs us $20 a month.
yeah, everybody thinks we're really, really good at it, but it could be like 5 lines of text at the bottom of the document. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. We'll find out. But okay, guys. So really, that's the end of that part. One thing that I am seeing a lot for this, and I think maybe we just end the slide deck and we just do this as a talking head part right here. But a couple of other ways, right? Cold email, we brush by real quickly. That's in that folder we're going to give out to some pre-written cold emails to get a response and have the AI respond and take over from there, or trigger it on a response that sends out an outbound text like, hey, you said yes to that thing I sent you a cold email about. I'm just texting you so we can get you on the calendar. Another one that I'm really, we haven't launched yet, full transparency, but we're in the middle of setting up is Google PPC call only ads that go directly to the voice AI that is a receptionist right now. We're looking at setting that up for real estate and also for a couple of other ads. So it's all kinds of stuff that these AI sales teams can be plugged into for yourself, for your clients. You just have to put that middleman into place. How can you do it organically? Eliciting a response from cold email, or by having paid with Google PPC call only ads or Facebook leads, right? All of these things can be the middleman to have that go out. And the first starting point of that is have an offer, solve bigger problems, and get out there and then get shit done. And really, I think, I want to wrap this part up with just saying, the consulting and the showing them the magic thing we've brought up now at the beginning, the middle, and now the end. And that really is on purpose, guys, because I mean, we've been showing some of this voice AI stuff off to larger companies. And I mean, I'll let Rahul talk to this a little bit, but their response is almost always one, yeah, I need that right now. But the more interesting response is, they're interested because these are business people. And so if you really get a business person's interest peaked, they go past the, yeah, I'm going to buy that. And they jump right into the, how can I help you go connect this to other people? Can I help you go sell this to somebody else? Can I help you go network even more? And that's where we're seeing the eyes widen up right now. And it really does come from the demo don't present. They just show them the power. The any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic situation that we find ourselves in right now.
Yeah, it certainly opened up the eyes of a lot of people. And it's off of simple Facebook posts, Instagram posts, and just nothing very good at on the copywriting. Like I might say something like working on an AI voice agent for real estate agents. And then that's it. I might get 3 likes, 1 comment, and the 1 comment could be mine on that particular post. But then I also get a text message from a friend who is very high up at realtor.com and says, we would like to talk about your voice AI because we're using a call center overseas and they're tired of the various accents. Right. So there's definitely a hell of a lot of opportunity. And it doesn't mean we're going to get the opportunity. It just means people are now open to it. The big boys in the space don't have it. They're willing to buy it. They're too big to figure it out. It's just not going to happen. They're 1 million pound gorillas. They don't move agile and they will operate incorrectly in my mind. I used to work there. So anyways, but that's the opportunity. And then when we lower it down, like Paulson mentioned, there's various business models of how you guys are operating. There could be low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket, or whatever ticket you call it. It doesn't really matter. I started off personally in the very low ticket and I did it with high volume, made a lot of money. I wanted to get in the high ticket. I consulted a mentor and he decided, don't do it. Don't try to close HBO and JetBlue and all these big companies because they're just going to laugh at you. You're too small. They hire companies like ours because we wear tuxedos. We know those people. We know their language. We have MBAs and law degrees, and you don't have any of those things. Your goal is to be rich as the Taco Bell market, while we be rich in the high-end steakhouse market. And right when he told me that advice, I'm like, it just taught me stay in my lane. The grass is not always greener on the other side. That shiny object syndrome could have thrown me at a different planet. And that's what I just wanted to express is everything you want to do as far as your price, if it's selling, it's working. So you're doing good. Don't just someone else's success and somebody else's words are not yours, and you don't know if it's truthful or not. Just be good at making offers, selling, and please do leverage these videos like this mastermind you're on right now. Comment right now, I'm in if you're going to take AI seriously, because this is something that can explode for you, for us, for everybody. Because I look at it as a moral obligation myself. When I see a business and I know I have the time, or if I'm walking by, it's my job just to walk and approach. Just saying, like, if I don't, the average lifespan of a business is going to be 3 years for the most part before they die and they're gone. And a new business does the same thing, rinse and repeat. But if we can extend their life expectancy even a year or forever, that feels pretty damn good. And all we have to do is go in with our cell phones and show them the AI demo, and then it will spark their interest. Do it 1,000 times, and you'll have probably a really good portfolio of customers.
Yeah. So there's two things that I want to kind of address before we kind of wrap up. Cody, do you mind talking um, a little bit about the fulfillment pressure on this? What does fulfillment look like for AI in general? And I want them to hear from you because, I'm a little biased that there's not a lot to do it to compared to like the old, SEO days.
Well, I like to reference a business that just recently either got bought out or got destroyed, right? What do we all like to use? It was called Confusionsoft. Okay, that was what life was back then. Okay, it was all of us trying to duct tape stuff together through Zapier and if this then that and all these other random stuff and using a bunch of softwares I'm not going to note, but it was a headache. Every single thing was a problem. The fact that HighLevel has gifted you guys the ability to just do the thing. We used to also have to be IT people. Okay. I think when you complain sometimes about support, you forget just how you don't understand how difficult it used to be. We used to literally have to be, to build a website, I had to know, coding. If I wanted to link things together, I either had to figure it out through Zapier or do the API myself. If I wanted to create workflows, you had to duct tape together 6 different things. It was an impossibility. And now for them to have rolled out AI in a way that you can, I mean, guys, I can't stress enough that it's as bad as it's ever gonna be. And it's pretty fucking good. Oops, excuse my French, I'm Canadian. It's pretty good right now. And it's only going to continue to get better. I mean, if you do what we teach, which is go get a niche, go pick a feature, go pick a problem, and just continuously develop that out. The beautiful thing about a snapshot and the way that these guys have this set up is that fulfillment is clicking a button. And then when you improve that one thing, it improves it for all of your clients. It improves it for all of your future clients. And it's the ability to not have to go redo it. You don't have to go reinvent the wheel every time. You just have something that works. And you have something you can set up for a client in minutes. And then all you have to do is think strategically to solve even bigger problems so that you can work on your business instead of in it. And I will tell you, it used to be a lot more in it.
Yeah, I mean, like I just had somebody on the team. I don't even know if I showed it to you yet. I have a rental nearby, and the real estate agent's just not getting the traffic. It's been a while, so I just had a bot created because if anybody says I want to see the property, he just runs over to the property and then says, "Oh my God, we got a new person viewing it." And I'm like, "You don't even qualify them. You're just driving aimlessly. They could be broke. They could have 18 people in a 5-person house. I don't know." So we created the qualification bot, and we're intentionally making it very frictionful because I don't want people applying. I only want the right person applying. So it's going to do the qualifying for us. And then when somebody does pass these various questions, then it's going to automatically create an appointment and a time to meet at the property with a buffer. So it'll have like an 8-hour buffer within the window of 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. just so I can go there or the realtor can go there or whatever. But it's just these little things are just so cool because now I can post these things on Craigslist and say, call this number for all the info. I can put it on realtor.com or wherever, Facebook groups, etc. And then the bot will do it. The realtor, me, nobody has to answer that phone so that 3 or 4 minutes of information stays 3 or 4 minutes by our AI. Because if you answer the phone, you're going to have to spend probably 17 or 22 minutes because you get into a natural conversation. So while it's doing that and working for me on this particular personal matter, which is a business matter for myself, I'm not even doing anything. I don't give a shit. I'm going to be either at the gym, I'm going to be working, I'm going to be doing a Zoom. So those are the cool things that it's replacing. It's just scale. So there's different areas you can get creative with. And what we like to think is whatever you're imagining AI can do up here, it can already do. So it's limited to your creativity.
I love that. So as we wrap up this session, I want both of you to address this, and I know you can because you deal with hundreds and thousands of students at this point. And I want you to speak in the lane of correcting the mindset for the new entrepreneur. Talk to the brand new agency owner that just slapped on an LLC less than 6 months ago, and they're trying to figure out how to jump off of this cliff of 9 to 5 and make an airplane on the way down. Um, Talk to that person. Like, what is the world that they're living in today when it comes to marketing? What is the mindset that they should have to actually move the needle instead of the perception of moving the needle of a bunch of just doing a bunch of busy work and not the right work? Like, both of y'all, if you don't mind, speak to the mindset that you speak to your students, and we'll wrap up with that.
Well, first thing I always tell every single student, every single one, is what you just said at the end. Okay. And it really goes back to what I was talking about with the offer. Most people, when they first get started, overcomplicate everything and they waste so much time on stuff that does not matter. They'll go spend money on a brand. They'll go spend all these days on a logo. They'll go build a beautiful 50-page website and they'll make a lot of assumptions along the way about what their market wants and what they're going to do, what's going to move the needle. And they'll blink and they'll find themselves thousands of dollars spent on affiliate coaching that never got them anywhere, websites that wasn't going to do anything, wasted time learning features that their customers don't care about, and they spend all that time doing that, and then they get lost and they end up back at their job and they feel defeated because they didn't have anybody to actually tell them to stop doing that. And the thing is that we teach, one of the first things I tell everybody in our program is the 80-20 rule, and that's to reverse that. I want you to go out and time block your day. 80% of your day is revenue generating activities, prospecting, talking to customers. And I want you to just go take imperfect action. All of the rest, and I keep harping on Sean. He's going to shit on me later on, but watch the coming at you videos in the 20% of the day. Learn the features, do all of the learning and all the building and all of that stuff in whatever 20% of your day that you want to time block out and do it. But the rest of it is go do prospecting, take imperfect action. See, the thing that people don't realize is it's the uncomfortable shit that makes you money. It's the talking to strangers. It's the having conversations. It's getting told no, all of that stuff. And a lot of people in the initial phases, especially if you come from a 9 to 5 and not sales and you're not used to that kind of stuff, they'll turtle. It'll start to get a little hard and they'll turtle within themselves and they'll subconsciously procrastinate by doing the logo and the building. And I think they know in the back of their head, it doesn't matter what they name their company or what their logo is because nobody knows who the hell they are yet. I think they know that, but subconsciously, it's just an easier thing to do than to lean into the uncomfortable stuff they know they need to do to make money. Because when you're leaning into the uncomfortable stuff, you get to fail forward. You're probably going to fuck up your first client. No matter how much you study, you're probably going to do something not that good and they're probably going to fire you. So you got to just get out there and get that out of the way and start that learning process, build that foundation, because every failure teaches you something. Every conversation teaches you something. Like you heard me say earlier in this conversation, my favorite source of information is being told no on sales calls because that teaches us, our sales teams, and the rest of our company so much. And if you lean into that uncomfortable stuff, that's how you grow. Our most successful students that we've ever seen that start from zero and get to like 100K months and however long are the people that borrow our confidence and just go, go, go. Document, don't create. Start to have conversations, push that forward and learn and trust the people around them. So that's really what I would say is, organize your day properly, lean into the uncomfortable stuff and focus, simplify and focus so that you can move forward.
I love that. Rahul, can you share some notes on the mindset that you would speak to this early entrepreneur?
Yeah. So there's a couple things that are going to be coming up. You're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit. You're gonna have to be a little bit patient, and there's going to be pressure. You're gonna have to work very hard. And to combat all of that, simplicity is the key to this all. Complexity will be your enemy of success, which is shiny object syndrome. And I'll just kind of give it through the lens of my starter story. All I sold was banner ads that were squares and rectangles to real estate agents. I didn't even sell it to any other industry. If you were a lawyer and wanted one, the answer was no. If you wanted a logo, which our team could literally do very easily, the answer is no. We're only digital banner specialists. So we're so focused on the power of one offer, one price, one target market, one way to pay it, one way to sign a contract, all the way across the board. It took these 150 to $500-600 banner ads, turned it into a $300,000+ a month venture just off squares and graphics, the things nobody wants to click on, right? So that's the simplicity, and just extend the timeline of success because someone else's story is not yours, and chances are it might not be true. So the suffering that somebody that you didn't see, you only see them today. Understand that this is a business, it's infinite in time. So if you're starting it for being the legacy, quitting the 9 to 5 job, so this can be your new thing, and you want to do this for the next 3, 5, 10, 50 years, just be patient on the front end, because this is the hardest part. Like when a rocket takes off, 90% of the energy is just getting off the launch pad. Then the rest is going into orbit, and things get a little bit simpler once you've had the success, but you'll have a new level, which will pose a new devil that you'll be able to tackle at that point, because every level has another complication. But out of the starting gates, it's like the Gary Vee stuff: work hard, rah, right? But that's true. Work hard, be focused, rehearse your stuff. Like, you have to rehearse your stuff. I can't tell you how many people are so unrehearsed and unprepared when they get the opportunity. So it's like, when preparation meets the opportunity, that's when luck can prevail. And we get lucky a lot on our end because we just prepare and take this extremely serious, like an athlete would take care of their body, and prepare for a big game, right? So that's really kind of how we look at our business: is we're going to battle every day. Let's just be prepared.
I love that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching another session of AI Marathon. This is a unique event that we put together in the spirit of the season of AI. Thanks for watching, y'all. And Rahul or Cody, just real quick, how can people find more information about your program? I know I'm pretty sure I'm part of the Facebook group and a couple of things. You know, I love following you guys and just kind of keeping track.
If you go to joingsd.com/group, that will take you to the best place, which is the group that Paulson said he's a part of. And he just gave us a little shout out saying he likes it. You guys will probably like it too.
Yeah.
And then the main YouTube channel that we use is just my name, Cody Getchell. So if you just look me up on YouTube, there's a bunch of playlists for AI GHL builds specifically, and some other stuff like growing communities on GHL and all this other stuff that we've dropped for free on that channel too. So if you want to hit that up as well, those would be the best two places, I think, to find us.
Awesome. And if you're watching this just outside the ecosystem, if you're not in our community, consider it. Consider jumping on a trial if you think it's a good time. And there's a lot of resources in our world of ecosystem now that will support you, just like Rahul and Cody will as well. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.